So it's starting to get warm in Nashville, and I think this will probably be the last time I'm able to make this recipe for about 4 months because the heat's coming in. It's kind of hard to eat this when it's hot and it's chilly. Now, as a recovering Texan, I take pride in this chili recipe. I'll try to make it as simple as I can, and we're gonna use one of my favorite kitchen appliances, the Instapot. Let's get into it. All right, so what we got here is the spices for the chili sauce. Dried chilies. So we have guajillos, we have chile de árbol, and we have pasilla. I usually use cascabel, but I couldn't get that today, so I got one pasilla. For our spice mix, black pepper, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, paprika, salt, chili flake, and the smallest bit of cumin. Now you can tell that these are whole, but we're gonna blend everything, so it won't really matter. One of the last ingredients is el pato tomato sauce. Now this is already seasoned, and it's a hot tomato sauce, and some cilantro. All right, now for the rest of the ingredients. The vegetables we're gonna add is 2 cut poblanos and 2 diced medium yellow or white onions. Now I didn't cut this on screen because you guys know what that looks like to cut stuff. 2 pounds of ground beef. Really doesn't matter what you get. I believe this is 73.27. About a pound of steak. You can use tri-tip, you can use roast, anything that's gonna take a while to cook down. Brisket even. There's 1 can of beer. I usually like to use Modelo or anything light. All right, so these are all the ingredients you're gonna need for this chili. Let's put them all here together so they can be nice and happy and just have the greatest time together. Oh, and then some sort of oil is the other thing you're gonna need. And the last couple of ingredients is, of course, beef stock. So these are all the ingredients you're gonna need for this chili. Now I have one more secret ingredient. Bear with me. If you want your chili to get a little bit more of that umami flavor, a lot of people put Worcestershire sauce or browning sauce. I don't really like to use that. My go-to thing for umami is anchovies. Now I'm not gonna put anchovies in here, but something else that's made from fish that's really good is fish sauce. Yep, we're gonna put a little bit of fish sauce in this chili. These are all the ingredients you're gonna need for this chili. Seems like a lot, but trust me, it's not that bad. Now, first off, let's start with the chili sauce. A lot of people make chili powder. I prefer to do it in a sauce form. It's a whole lot easier to work with. So this is the process of making the chili sauce. I got 3 different types of chilies. Now, I always use this same 2, and then I add another one. I usually use cascabel, but I couldn't get that, so I got pasilla. But if I use cascabel, I would use 2. 1 pasilla is enough, so we're gonna toast them. 1 pasilla, 2 guajillo, and then 6 chile de árbol. And I took out most of the seeds, if not all of them. So we're just gonna let these toast. So you gotta be careful because you're gonna start to, the house will start to smoke a little bit. Make it see it's starting to get toasty. You'll definitely notice the change in the guajillos. You might have to, and you might have to turn on your fan. Alrighty, so they are done. And I got some hot water right here, ready to go. So we can steep them. That's it. Now this, if you want to cover, you can, but it'll be enough just to leave them like that. I'm gonna add some pato umbarat. So this is a 28-ounce can. I'm gonna put about half of it. All right, it's good. Now I'm coughing is because I toasted all those chilies and I'm dying right now. Alrighty, so now the spice blend. Put one there, put that all in there. Alright, and then the last part, we're gonna add these chilies that have been steeping and this water. And then the water, I'm only gonna add a little bit of it. About half of that water. Alright, and that's it. Now if we need to add more water, we can. So in order to get this really smooth, because you have the whole peppercorns and the salt, you're gonna need to blend it for a little bit. I've been at it for about a minute or so. We'll crank it up. And I can still see chunks, little baby specks, and I want those all gone. All right, that should be good enough. That is very pungent, so it should look like that, very smooth. And all of this is legitimately going to go into the chili. All right, so I put this on saute. I'm gonna add a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more of oil. All right, so that's hot enough. So if I put too much of this in here, it's gonna start to cool down the pot. I don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna add about half of this first. I'm only gonna add a little bit of salt just to help it brown. Now you just keep doing this with the rest of the beef. Now, granted, this actually doesn't really get too hot, but it'll be enough. Can add the rest of the beef. Same thing again. A little bit of salt to help it move along. All right, so now we're gonna add a little bit more avocado oil. And the reason I'm using avocado oil because it's just the one that I had laying around. Meat tube in, one meat tube, and meat tube number 2. All right, so now I'm using this. I want to smash it all up in there. All right, so the meat is slightly brown. It's sauteing, and it has a fair amount of liquid, and that's what I want for the next step, which is the veggies. So we're gonna add all the poblanos, and we're gonna add all the onions. I'm just gonna let that cook down a little bit. You're gonna want to cook them until they're translucent, and then mix it all in. Let's cover it up. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, they're semi-translucent now. And so I'm gonna add beef. Arby's, we have the beef. All right, so now I added back the beef. Just mix it all together. Now, we're gonna add the liquids. We're gonna add the chili sauce, the sauce. We're gonna add about a half a cup of beef stock. And mix it all in. See, that's already a deep red. Then we're gonna add the whole can of beer. We're gonna add some more cilantro. It's okay if it's in big chunks. It'll cook down. That smells amazing right now. And the last key ingredient, a couple of shots of fish oil. Not too much. Mix it up, stir. Alright, now we're gonna cover this. Put the lid on the correct way. We're gonna cover it. We're gonna cover it. And then there is actually a chili setting. Chili setting. It's gonna go for 30 minutes. I'm gonna put it for 45. And there you go. And now it's ready to go. And we'll check back in about an hour. Okay, so once you are done, you let it rest. You're gonna still have to release all the pressure. Now be careful because it's still going to be hot. Now, as you can see, there's a good amount of oil, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. What we're more focused on is how tender the steak is. And after about 45 minutes of cooking and then 15 minutes of rest, it should be nice and tender, and it is. Now, what you're gonna wanna do now is turn it on to a saute mode and have it uncovered and boil that remaining liquid off to get it nice and thick. So it has been 10 minutes and I did take out a good amount of the grease that was on top, and I think it's ready. Well, let's try this. Bowl red. To look at that. You can add onions, you can add sour cream, jalapenos. I just like it with a little bit of cheese. All right, now let's try it. Man, that's spicy. It is good, but it is filling. It's spicy and spices. We need to invent a word in English for the Spanish word enchilar. Because I'm trying to say it has a lot of spices, so it's spicy, but at the same time, it's hot, as in spice-wise, as in capsaicin. So we need to comment down below what word we can use to substitute out. Whew, that is spicy. Thank you, everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe. And follow for more recipes. Whew. Maybe some more salsas. Maybe some more soups. Oof. Some more sauces. I could eat this all day.